America has over 7% unemployment. It has its biggest companies like Apple outsourcing 90% of its jobs to China. It has a crisis of identity, gone from being the great manufacturing powerhouse of the world to something very different, and no one's quite sure what it is. How do we get America back to work?
I think the first thing you have to do is make sure you're looking at a complete narrative, because while everything that you've said, from what I've read, is entirely true, some other things are true too. There's a skills gap. There are about 3.5 million jobs available right now. 10% of those jobs require a 4-year degree or better. That means about 90% of them require something else. They require training, they require skill, a willingness to get dirty perhaps, but mostly a willingness to learn a new and useful trade. That's always been for sale, but it's kind of fallen out of the narrative. To get it back in the narrative, I think, is a critical thing to do because, look, like the debate you were just having, it's crazy to suggest, in my opinion, that one kind of education fits everybody. Some of the best schools in the country you've never heard of, they're modest, they're small, and they've got placement rates 80–85%.
But America's record of literacy and numeracy and these key educational litmus tests, if you like, is shocking. I mean, they're falling so far behind countries like China, like India and others. It's almost getting embarrassing. What is going on with the education system in America that is leading to these kind of statistics?
I don't think things like the skills gap or infrastructure or currency devaluation or manufacturing outsourcing, I don't think these things are problems in and of themselves. I think they're symptoms of something bigger. And I think that the bigger thing is our own disconnect with a very fundamental notion of valuable work, meaningful work. I don't think we are up to speed with a new message for a new problem. We're still telling kids fundamentally, look, work hard, work smart, not hard. That's still what we're telling them. You know, I had a poster in my guidance counselor's office that literally said, work smart, not hard, next to a grad. There it is right there. Amazing. And
are we breeding a softer generation? You know, I've got 3 kids, boys in their teenage years now, a young daughter, but 3 kids of 20, 16, 13.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm worried about them. They're working hard at school and college and university and so on, but I'm worried about what happens at the end of this.
Sure.
What do you say to them? And that's just in Britain. It's not, America has it on a much bigger scale and arguably has a bigger problem.
Yeah, look, you can't keep talking about the expectations in the same sense or in the same way that we always have. You really have to step back and see what are the available jobs right now and what do you have to do. I talk every day we're in business with a couple of trade schools. We've been working on a scholarship program specifically to reward these 2 things. A willingness to learn a new skill and a willingness to work your butt off. It's difficult to reward work ethic, but work ethic scholarships are coming. So far, from what I've seen, it's all about academic, it's about athletic, it's about talent, and it's about need-based. But rewarding work ethic and rewarding the behavior we want to encourage, that's what's for sale, and that's what we're not doing.